Hello and welcome to Body Purpose with Mona Kelly. Today we are giving power to our brain with this Kundalini Yoga kriya called Give Power to the Brain. And we're doing things a little differently today because my house has turned into a construction site and therefore there is a lot of noise happening. So for this video, I will record my voice separately when it is quieter. In the meantime, please grab your mat and 2 blocks for this set. Okay, let's get started.
Sitting on a block or a pillow with a firm surface or a folded towel, let's get grounded and do a short warm-up. First, feel your sits bones, which are the 2 bones on each side of your butt that you can feel when sitting on a firm surface. It is important that you sit and balance on your sit bones and not higher up the spine on your tailbone. Sitting on your tailbone may lead you to collapse your lower back. This is also why sitting on the block helps you by giving you some spine extension so you can easily sit on your sit bone. Taking a deep inhale. Exhale. Give yourself command not to tighten anywhere. Repeat after me. I choose not to tighten anywhere. Or you can say, I choose to let go of any unnecessary tension. Inhale. Exhale. I choose not to tighten anywhere. And see if you notice any tension that you had not noticed before. Allowing this tension to melt down into the ground. From the crown of the head, through the neck, through the shoulders, through the back, lower back, and sit bones. Allow this tension to melt down into the ground from the crown of the head through the sit bones. Now, lifting our right shoulder all the way to the right ear, rolling it back and letting it go. Left shoulder to the left ear, rolling it back, letting it go. This is a nice way to open up the chest without forcing anything. Once again, taking a deep inhale, exhale. I choose not to tighten anywhere. Quick mindful movement warm-up now, starting with our head. To avoid unnecessary tension, we must move our body from our joints. When moving your head, keep in mind your neck is not a joint. Therefore, avoid moving your head from your neck, as this may create tension. Joint we need to move our head from is located in the back of our head at the level of our ears. Move your head from that spot, or even better, slightly above that spot. Turning your head to the right now from the joint located at the level of your ears behind your head. This means your gaze will be towards the floor a couple of feet in front of you. Keep moving to the right and left. Repeating the mantra, I choose not to tighten anywhere. And moving from that joint behind your head. Now bringing your right ear towards your right shoulder and left ear towards your left shoulder, alternating sides. And now, looking up and down, keeping in mind you are not moving from your neck, but from the joint that is located in the back of your head at the level of your ear, or even better, slightly above your ears. And now circling the head, not overdoing it, especially as you bring your head back, You do not want to crunch your neck. And changing sides, rotating the other way. I choose not to tighten anywhere. Repeat this to yourself mentally. And back to center. Now moving the arms. Think of moving your arms from your armpits and not from your shoulders. The armpits is a joint, the joint you want to use when moving your arms. Also, imagine you have some strings attached to the tip of your fingers, and that those strings are pulling your fingers from above. Opening out the arms, lowering them down, and all the way to the ceiling if it's available to you. Moving from the armpits, allowing your shoulders to drop down towards the ground. I choose not to tighten anywhere is always in the back of your mind. To let go of any unnecessary tension. Now removing the block or pillow you're sitting on, I'd like you to extend your legs in front of you, keeping them slightly bent. We're going to move forward and back from this position, moving from our sit bones and allowing our hip joints to release, to soften. Our hip joints are where the legs and torso meet on each side of your pubic bone, so it's very much in front of you. And tilting forward and back. Keeping a nice neck, head, torso alignment. Releasing from the back of the knees and front of the ankles. Releasing as in softening. Like bread dough rising, you start with something compact and you end up with something soft. Bringing your arms in front of you, moving your arms from the armpit. And tilting forward, backwards from the sit bones, softening at the hip joints, back of the knee, front of the ankle. Now this concludes our mindful movement warm-up. Now let's come into a seated position. Sitting on your block or pillow or folded towel. Taking a deep inhale, exhale. I choose not to tighten anywhere, allowing any excess tension to cascade down from the crown of your head through your sit bones. Now bringing our arms in front of you at a 45-degree angle, moving from the armpits and not the shoulders, and bringing them down below the parallel line. Repeat, I choose not to tighten anywhere to yourself mentally, or I choose to let go of any tension, allowing any extra tension to melt down into the ground through your sit bones. Allowing the shoulders to release down towards the ground. I choose not to tighten anywhere. Moving from the armpits, you can also imagine those imaginary strings at the tip of your fingers that are lifting your fingers up and letting them go down. Allowing the head to release away from the tailbone, allowing the tailbone to release away from the crown of the head. Allow your breath to automatically regulate with the movement. Allowing the elbows to soften. Taking a deep inhale, suspend the breath. Apply a gentle mula bandh or root lock. And release the arms down, shake it off. Taking a deep inhale, exhale. I choose not to tighten anywhere. Coming onto our belly. For Cobra pose, bringing your hands on each side of your body at the level of the shoulders if it is available to you. If not, you can place them in front of your shoulders at the level of your head. Now sending your hands into the ground, extending your arms straight and lowering yourself down, allowing your breath to adjust to the movement. I choose not to tighten anywhere. Keep repeating this to yourself. Allowing the armpits to soften, allowing the elbows to soften. Pressing your hands into the ground, allowing the ground to support you in return. Allowing the head to expand away from the tailbone and the tailbone away from the head. If your legs need to come apart, please do so. I do hear sometimes in Cobra pose that the feet should stay together, but that is not sustainable for all of us. As you can see, my feet are pretty wide open. Nice. Bringing your arms by your side. You can rest a cheek onto the ground. And switch sides. Bringing your hands on each side of your shoulders, using those hands to press yourself up. Come into a child's pose, and then pressing the hands down into the ground, come back up. Moving back to a seated position, I'd like you to grab your blocks and put a block on each side of your hips. Placing your hands on the blocks. You're going to lift your bum off the ground. If you can also lift your feet, please do so. But it's not mandatory. Sending your hands down into the blocks, helping you lift. Allowing the armpits to release down towards the ground. Repeating yourself, I choose not to tighten anywhere. We're here for a little bit over a minute, so we should be done soon. A few more seconds. And shake your arms, shake your hands. You can remove the blocks. And we're going to move on to the next exercise, lying down onto our back. Please grab a paperback book that you can place under your head so that your neck ends up being parallel to the ground. This way, you do not compromise your head, neck, torso alignment. Taking a deep inhale, exhale, allow your body to release any tension that you may have onto the ground. Moving from your armpits, bring your arms overhead if it's available to you, and back by your side. Move halfway up if overhead is not available to you. Tapping the palm of the hands onto the ground and the top of the hands onto the ground overhead. Once again, you do not have to go overhead if it's not available to you. You can keep your arms 90 degrees up in the air instead. I choose not to tighten anywhere is a good mantra to repeat to yourself as you move. Noticing any tension you may not have noticed prior, and allowing that tension to release into the ground through your supports, which are your feet, legs, bum, shoulders, head. Inhale, exhale, release even deeper. Bring your knees into your chest, one knee at a time. You can grasp your knees and roll from side to side, allowing your back to lengthen in heights and width. Bringing both knees together to the side, coming up to a seated position with your legs extended in front of you. From this position, we're going to go into a back platform pose, bringing your hands behind you, with your fingers either facing towards your toes or facing out, sending your hands down into the ground to lift into a back platform pose. Sending your hands down onto the mat, sending your heels down onto the mat, using those supports to help you lift. I choose not to tighten anywhere. Or I choose to release any unnecessary tension I may hold. Can help. Inhale as you lift, exhale as you release down. Allow your elbows to soften. Allow your armpits to soften as well. Alternatively, you can bend your knees so that you have your feet onto the ground, sending those feet into the ground, sending those hands into the ground to help you lift. If your legs are extended, your heels are your support. And coming back in a seated position. Shake your arms, shake your wrists. We are now going to move into a front platform pose. So, we're going to come into a plank position with our hands anchored onto the ground and our toes as well. If it's not available to you, please come onto your knees. Releasing at the elbows, we're going to come all the way down and sending our hands into the mat, coming back into a plank position. As I mentioned, you can just do this exercise onto your knees, or onto your knees and then into a plank position like I'm demonstrating. Repeat to yourself, I choose not to tighten anywhere. Releasing at the armpits, releasing at the elbows, sending your hands into the ground. Allowing your head to expand away from your heels and your heels away from your head. And release down. And we're going to move into a relaxation posture onto our stomach. Keeping your arms along the sides of your body. You can turn your head and rest on one of your cheeks. On one of your cheeks, please switch sides. Placing your hands on each side of your body at the level of your shoulder, sending your hands into the ground, coming into a child's pose, sitting on your heels, and coming up to a seated position. We are going to end today's session with a little cool down or moving meditation. First, rolling your shoulder up and back. And now we're going to move our body slowly, loosening up every muscle while listening to this meditative music. It is a free-flowing movement, reminding yourself, I choose not to tighten anywhere, or I choose to let go of any unnecessary tension. As you move freely and at your own pace. We're going to end this session with a long Satnam, bringing your hands in front of your heart center, rubbing those hands together. Taking a deep inhale. Satnam. Bringing the hands down. Inhale. Exhale.
I hope you enjoyed this kriya. If you did, please like this video, share it with your friends. You can also comment below. I'll do my best to answer also any questions you may have, and subscribe to this channel. Have a wonderful day. Until next time. Bye bye.